The human cadet failed the Alien Academy test in less than 7 minutes. Then she saved everyone who passed it. File opened, record unstable. Nothing is random. Kavreth Hall was built on a cold moon with no oceans and no soft weather. Its towers rose from black stone and silver metal. Training fields hung under glass domes. Ships came from many species to leave their best young soldiers at its gates. The academy had one promise. It would teach them to survive each other. Sera Vannik arrived with 2 bags, 1 cracked helmet, and a record full of warnings. Impulsive, emotional, poor respect for tactical distance, unreliable under formal command. She had read the file herself. Twice. The second time she laughed. Sera stood inside Simulation Chamber 9 with 20 alien cadets around her. Dhurmakk, Draukkem, Ulshoq, Dovraal. Others she only knew from briefing images. All of them looked prepared. Sera looked tired. Her uniform sleeve was torn at the wrist, and one boot was fixed with silver tape. Above the chamber, Instructor Kavreth Vaughn watched from the gallery. Kavreth was Isovem, calm, controlled, and impossible to read. Beside her stood Varys Pell, tall and thin, with pale silver eyes and a dark instructor's uniform. He looked like a man who had been listening to history for too long. Kavreth read the scenario file. Urban collapse under hostile pressure. Objective: secure the command beacon and hold until extraction. Sera whispered, "Easy." The Draukkem cadet beside her looked down. "Nothing here is easy." Sera gave him a small smile. Then I was being hopeful. Kavreth continued, "Cadets will be judged on discipline, command timing, formation control, and objective success." The chamber lights dimmed. A broken city appeared around them. Burning streets, falling ash. A command beacon flashed 3 streets away. The cadets moved instantly into perfect formation. Dhurmakk forward line, Draukkem flank, Ulshoq scan team, Dovraal medical support. Sera was placed in rear tactical support, where someone clearly hoped she would cause less trouble. For the first 2 minutes, the team moved perfectly. Too perfectly. Sera noticed the problem before she understood it. The city was wrong. No bodies, no civilians, no panic, no open doors, no voices from broken buildings. A city under attack should not feel this empty. She raised her hand to the team channel. "Does anyone else hear that?" The Dhurmakk squad lead answered, "Hear what?" Sera said, "Nothing." The Ulshoq cadet replied, "Scenario file lists command recovery only." Then Sera saw it. A child's red scarf behind a broken window. Only for a second. Then it vanished. She stopped walking. "Sera, return to formation," the squad lead ordered. She did not move. The scarf appeared again, almost like the simulation was trying to hide it. Sera turned toward the building. The Draukkem cadet grabbed her arm. "The beacon is this way," Sera said. "I saw someone." He answered, "This test has no civilians." Sera pulled free. "Then the test is wrong." He stared at her. "That is not how tests work." Sera ran toward the building. The team channel exploded with warnings. In the gallery, Kavreth said she failed in 4 minutes. Varys did not answer. His pale eyes followed Sera into the broken building. Inside, the building was worse than it looked. Stairs were broken. Smoke covered the lower floors. Walls shook with distant fire. Sera moved fast, one hand on the wall, one on her training pistol. "Hello? Anyone here?" At first, nothing answered. Then she heard a cough from below. She found them in a lower room that should not have existed. A woman, an old man, and a child holding the red scarf. Their faces were unfinished, like the simulation had forgotten to complete them. But their fear felt real. The child looked at Sera and asked, "Are we part of the test?" Sera touched her radio. "I found civilians." The squad lead answered, "Impossible. The beacon is under attack," the squad lead said. "We need you in formation." Sera looked at the child. The room shook and dust fell from the ceiling. "If I leave them, they die." The Ulshoq cadet replied, "They are not real." The child whispered, "Please." Sera made her choice. "Then why are they scared?" She cut the channel. In the gallery, Karis turned sharply. She cut command contact. Varys said only, "Yes." Karis said, "She has completely failed the scenario." Varys looked at the broken building. "Has she?" Below, the main cadet team reached the beacon. Their formation was perfect. Their score indicators rose. Then the city changed. The command beacon turned red. Enemy units appeared from civilian shelters, lower tunnels, medical rooms, and evacuation points the cadets had ignored because the file did not list them. The perfect formation became a trap. The Dhurmakk line broke first. The Draukkem flank was surrounded. The Ulshoq scan team lost vision in the smoke. Karis leaned toward the console. "This is not in the active scenario." Varys said nothing. Sera heard the fighting through the walls. She had just pulled the old man through a cracked stairwell when the emergency channel reopened. "Rear, support, respond." Sera looked at the civilians, then at the street. The child held her sleeve. "Are you leaving?" Sera swallowed. "No, I am bringing you." Sera came out through a side alley the scan team had missed. From there, she saw the real shape of the battle. The beacon was bait. The evacuation paths were the map. The civilians were not extra, they were the key. Sera opened the full channel. "All teams, fall back to the housing blocks. The beacon is a trap." The squad lead shouted, "You are not in command." Sera answered, "No, but I am not surrounded." A pause followed. Then the Draukkem cadet said, "She is correct. Left flank is lost." Sera guided the broken formation through alleys, shelters, and service doors. The civilians she saved knew the hidden route. One by one, the cadets escaped the trap. The beacon fell. The official objective was lost. But every cadet survived. The simulation ended. The city vanished. The chamber returned to cold silver walls. The scoring system appeared above them. Objective failed. Formation broken. Command discipline failed. Casualty count 0. Sera stood in the center of the chamber with the simulated child still holding her hand. The child looked up at her, then flickered. Sera felt the small fingers vanish from her own. She stared at her empty hand. Karis checked the scenario file. "There are no civilian assets in this test." Varys looked at the empty space beside Sera. "No." Karis scrolled faster. "There is no lower room, no red scarf, no evacuation tunnel. This file has been used for 12 years. Varys said softly, "Maybe longer." Karis entered the chamber with Eris beside her. "Cadet Vannik," she said, "by official scoring, you failed the assigned test." Sera lifted her chin. "I know." Karis looked at the other cadets. "By survival scoring, every cadet here owes their life to your failure." No one spoke. Then Varys stepped forward. For the first time, his expression almost softened. "You failed the test we gave you," he said. Sera waited. Varys looked at the empty place where the child had been. "Then you passed the one history forgot." Before Sera could answer, static moved through the speakers. A small voice whispered, "Thank you." The lights flickered. One line appeared on the system screen. Nharven archives, witness response noted. Then it vanished. Sera looked at Varys. He was not surprised. That frightened her more than the voice. Later that night, her personal score file updated on her tablet. Failed. Then the word flickered. Another line appeared beneath it. Not all failures are losses. Across the academy, in a locked office, Varys watched the same line appear on his screen. He closed the file and whispered to the empty room, "So it begins again." Outside, the cold moon turned slowly under the stars. Inside, a human cadet who had failed her test could still feel the hand of someone who was not supposed to exist. Kavreth Hall did not train soldiers to win. It trained them to survive each other.